What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, SMARONENINE. So in today's video I have another tutorial for you. What I'm going to do in this one is show you guys how to work with and use materials. I'm actually going to break this up into two videos. So in this one I'm just going to show you the basics, how to add a material, how to add a second material, how to add a material over a material, how to name them, how to delete them, stuff like that. In the second video, I'll show you guys some tips and tricks on what I use to mix and match materials and how to sort of blend them together. So I'll have that video up for you guys either tonight or first thing tomorrow. But let's not waste too much time. Let's jump right into this video. So I've been working on maps a long time, and I feel the two most difficult tools to work with is materials and rivers. So they both can still aggravate me and stump me once in a while, but I'll show some river tutorials soon on my channel. But for now, let's focus on materials. So what is a material? So materials, if you come up here and highlight it, click this little plus. So you're always going to start with a base material. In this case, we got dirt to grass, which means dirt is what I'm going to draw with. Grass is what the entire map is. And you can switch this around. You can have grass over dirt, whatever. But let's say we want to add like a second material. We want to patch a concrete. So you can either right click anywhere and go add material, or you can come up here and right click and go add material. So we'll do that. And first thing you got to do is come down here and choose what you want to draw with. So remember, the first thing you select is what you're drawing with. So we'll choose concrete. And the second thing is what you're drawing over, which is grass. So we'll come down and we'll choose grass. And a lot of people will make the mistake and just switch this and start drawing. And oh, there's no concrete. What do I do? They'll rebuild the map and there's still no concrete. So what do? Let's go ahead and erase this. Okay, so with a second material, you always got to switch dirt to opacity. Bring this down to like 75, and it doesn't matter on size really. So if you just right click anywhere, you're going to add one patch. If you click in the center, you'll add 4 at a time. And if you hold the right clicker, you can draw it all out. But we'll go ahead and undo that. So I'm just going to go these 9 right here. So once you lay your squares down, go ahead and set it, re-highlight it, switch opacity back to dirt, and now you bring your value down to 30 or 25, whatever. And now you can start drawing out your concrete. But what I recommend is you don't go like this and go over, because this is what you'll get. You get this really straight edge, and I don't think it looks very good, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that. All right, now I'm going to bring this down to 30. What I like to do is stay as close to the edge without going over as I can. So I'm just going to paint down along the edges. Like so. And just to show you guys what the value is, I did talk about this in another video, but the closer you go down to 0, the more darker your line's going to be and the more straight the edges are going to be. If you go up into like the middle and we draw out a line, it's going to give it a little bit different effect. If we go up to like 40, it's going to give you a really light effect, as you can see. So this is the closest to 0. You're going to get a really nice fine line. This is a little bit more faded, and this is really faded. So just to show you kind of what the values do. So let's go ahead and finish coloring this in. And you guys, you can put as many materials on one map as you want. It doesn't even matter. You can have every material that the game offers on one map if you want. Okay, so we got our concrete. Now if we want to add a third material, so right now if you just go with 2 materials on a map, you're fine. You don't have to do any naming. But if you add a third material, so we'll go add material, now you have to rename it, because if you look at the second, it says mtrl_new, and the one we just added says the same thing. You can't have the same name on 2 files. So with the third one, the first thing you got to do is come down here and click right in this corner. You can't see anything, but if you click there, it's going to pop this up. Now you can change the new to a different name if you want, but I just put it 1 and that changes the name. Hit open and now we get a brand new material. So now let's go with beach, and we're still painting over grass, so I'll choose grass. Switch this to opacity, go up to 75. Now you can paint over this one and start putting your beach here, but the problem with that, you're going to have a really straight line and it's not going to mix and match very good. So I recommend staying away at least a block. And then we'll go back to dirt. In the second video, I'll show you how to mix these two and how to make them look a little better. So now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go right to the edge. Like I said, I'm not really taking my time too much on this. I don't want to spend too much time on this video. And there you go. And same thing, if we want to add another material, first thing I'm going to do is rename it. We already got a new and a new 1, so I'm going to put a new 2. Hit open, go to opacity, 75, and we'll choose these 9. Switch back to dirt, go down to 30. And now I'm going to, well, I was supposed to click these first, but you get the idea about how to do that. Grass, and there we go. Now we're all set. Just trying to give you guys a few examples on how to lay materials, and like I said, you can lay as many on a map as you want. So as you can see, we just added 3 quick materials right there. I'm going to rebuild and save. Now what if we want to put a material over another material? Like what if I want dirt over this concrete? So it's pretty simple, just right click, add material. Go to change the name first. So we have 1, 2, so I'll switch this to a 3. Hit open. The first one I want is dirt, and now we're painting over concrete. So the second one has to be concrete. Then I'm going to switch to opacity. And I don't recommend filling the whole square. Now if you want dirt over all this concrete, then it can get a little tricky. Because now if I was to do this and I hit the button, you can see what it does to my concrete. It makes it a perfect square. It's because one material is overlapping another. So if I switch back to opacity, bring this all the way down, we'll erase this, set that. All I want to put dirt on is right in the center. Whoops. So I'm just going to click right there. Now I'm going to switch to dirt, go down to 30, and I'm just going to add a little pile of dirt right here in the center, kind of blend it off into the sides, and click it. And now we got dirt over concrete over grass. And you can get a little bit more realistic with this, so you don't have just a flat. Just click your geometry tool, and we'll just lift this up a little bit. If you want to make like a little jump here, or make it look like a dump truck dumped this right here or something. So there you go, and then you can get a little bit more realistic. Add a little distributions around it, some debris stones, stuff like that. And there you go, just like that. I mean, very simple. You can get really creative with it. In the next video, I'll show you how to actually get this dirt to cover the whole thing and kind of make it look a little better and stuff. Same with here. So let's go ahead and switch the name. So we're up to 3. So I'm going to go 4. And let's put some grass over the beach. So I'm going to go opacity, click, back down to 30, dirt, and now we can add a little patch of grass right here, right in the dead center. And there we go, just like that. And I'm going to add a little bit of debris around this as well. And let's put a little bit of mud chunks right here. And there we go, guys. Let's rebuild that and see what we got. Just like that. So I mean, it's very simple. It's simple for me. I've been doing this a long time, but if this is your first time trying to learn how to work with materials, it can be very confusing, very tricky. But now let me show you guys how to properly delete all these. So when we was laying them down, we started with opacity. We started with the opacity to lay our things down, and then we chose dirt to color over it. When you delete them, you got to go opposite. So you got to go to dirt, take your value all the way to the top, bring this up, delete your dirt. then switch to opacity and go all the way down and just click it, and then it's gone. Then we can go ahead and safely delete this. I mean, you can delete these one by one. You can just right click and delete them, but it'll still be on the game. It's hard to explain, but so I'm gonna go ahead and delete all these just to show you guys. Whoops, see, I already messed up. Go switch to dirt first, then switch to opacity, go all the way down. Then I can safely delete this one. And then switch this to dirt, go all the way up, delete all this, switch to opacity, go all the way down. Now that's gone, right click, delete. Beach. So I remember the first time I started using materials and trying to add different materials to my map. I messed this up so much. It was crazy. Delete that. So don't feel bad if you make mistakes, and you can always just start over. You know, it's not a big deal. There's usually always a fix to something. And if you guys have any issues, you can just ask me down in the comments. I'll be happy to help. I'm even going to remove my stones and my mud chunks, and I'm even going to flatten the ground back out where we lifted it for that dirt pile. So there we go. Now it looks like I never even did anything right here. So I'm going to right click, rebuild and save, and we're pretty much done this tutorial. But one more thing I want to show you. Now we deleted those materials off the map. Whoops, I forgot to delete that one. Let me delete that off there. Rebuild and save one more time. Okay, so all of our materials, it's back to just having my base material. Now, even though we deleted them, they're still in the map files. So we want to properly delete these. So to do that, you come up here, hover over this, repin it, click this X. Now you need to find your tutorial map, like my tutorial map, the code number right here. So you only really need the last 3 digits, which mine is EC4. So I can go ahead and close the map, open up my Mudrunner directory, go to Media, Mods, and now I want to find my coded folder, which is right here, EC4. And you want to go in the pre-build folder, and you want to click on this folder, not the XML. You want to click on the folder. And here's all of our added distributions, our added materials, all of the stuff we've been doing. And as you can see, even though we deleted those materials, all the names are still right here. So we want to delete these. So highlight all of these, but never delete your base material, just the new ones that you added. That's why I leave the name new. And then right click, delete. And now they are properly off our map. It's like they never were there. But never delete your base material. Okay guys, so that's going to do it for this video. In the next video, like I said, I'm going to show you guys how I mix and match them, how I bring them together a little bit, how I go from concrete to beach, how I go to beach to dirt, stuff like that. I'll teach you guys how I work with materials on that thing, because mixing and matching them is the worst part. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped you guys out. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will talk to you guys again real soon.